please wait until you've seen the full list before you all start going, whoa, 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 whoa. How does he rank this player so low? Because I don't want to reveal all of my... what we're going to do, we're going to go through this, starting at 10th, going all the way to 1st. I'm going to show you a replay of the player that I have ranked at whatever, and you guys in chat can guess who it is based on their car design, based on the way they move. Maybe you'll even remember what match they're playing. Is this current or all-time? This is current top 10. So here we go. This is number 10, my number 10. I'll also put a little list on the side here that we're going to update as we go. But this is my number 10 player in the Europe/ME servers right now. Let's see if anyone in chat can guess who it is just based on the car design. I've had to hide the nameplates to make it a bit harder. Let's see if anyone can guess who this is. Okay, we got a lot of guesses for Ahmad, Alpha 54, Astral. Got a guess for Jorias. We've got a K-Dop in there. Okay, a lot of good guesses here. A lot of Phoenix being guessed, but only a very small amount of you. I've seen a couple of people guess this one correctly. It's really not been a very large amount of people who have guessed this one correctly. Anyway, let me reveal the nameplate of the opponent, and we'll see if you can guess who it is. There we go. We can see who the opponent is. Who are we on board with right now? Does that help you guys? Yeah, here we go. Now we're getting some people guessing it correctly. Now we're getting some correct guesses. It is in fact Zamwe. Zamwe is my 10th ranked player. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go into specifics yet as to why. So I'll just type in Zamwe for number 10 here. And then we'll reveal who my number 9 player is. So first of all, I'm going to pause this. Oh, that was... Wait, actually, is this the hilarious moment where Zamwe saved his own shot off the post? We have to watch this again. Check this out. Absolutely brilliant. We have to watch that one more time. Let's get an action replay of Zamwe saving his own shot. 1-1 as well. Legendary moment there. I had to just put that in there. So funny. It's one of my favorite Zamwe moments ever. Just how defeated he is afterwards. His car just stops moving completely. He just can't believe. He's like, I can't believe I've done this. So yeah, that's my number 10 player. Here is my number 9 player at the moment. Top 10 player, lol. I mean, yeah, we've all got our moments, don't we? We've all got our moments. Yeah, you guys have guessed it. Well done. It's Trex. Well done. Okay, you guys are too smart for me. I didn't think you were going to get it all that fast. Okay, it was a bit obvious. I thought maybe I could bait yous, but nah, you're all on the ball. You're all really, really paying attention here. I was kind of just making sure that you're actually awake and listening. So yeah, Trex is number 9. I really thought that would be I thought maybe it would take you a little bit longer than that to figure it out. Let me just pull up number 8 here. I think you guys have got a good shot of guessing this one. I think it's a good shot of getting this one right. So here's my number 8 player from EU/ME 1v1. Let's see if you guys can guess who it is. Okay, I'm actually surprised at how many people got it wrong there. We've got some right answers, but we got a lot of wrong answers. A lot of wrong answers. Oh my. So many people getting this wrong. Wow. I mean, I thought more of you would get Trex wrong, but you're all getting this one wrong. Let me go ahead and reveal who the opponent is, and I think you guys you're all going to start getting it right. So there's the opponent. We can see the opponent is Luis. So I think a lot of people are going to get this right now. Yeah, a lot of you have got it right. It is Revzy. I have Revzy at number 8 right now. So let me just type that in before we set up the replay for the next one. I love typing Revzy because it's one of those names you could type with just your left hand. You don't need to use your right hand at all. You just never need to move it from the mouse. Alright, so let me hide the screen again and I'll bring up number 7. I think everybody's going to get this one right. Everybody who was paying attention to the match where this happened, I think you're all going to get this right. So this is number 7. Let's see how many people get this one. Might be a bit of a curveball to people who didn't see it though. They'll be like, what? Oh my. So many people getting it wrong. I don't believe this. Wow. Okay, yeah, a lot of people getting it right. A lot of yous know. A lot of yous know. A lot of you don't though. Oh my goodness. So many people think that it's Astral. Alright, here's the opponent. The opponent is Trex. But yeah, a lot of you got it right. A lot of you still think it's Astral. It's not Astral. It's Dead Dash Monster. It's Dead Monster, my guys. I know Astral's got a history of using... it shows at the bottom, does it? Where? Oh, it does! Wow, I didn't even think of that. You guys are too clever. I mean, I was going to reveal it anyway. Yeah, it is Dead Monster. So many people thought it was Astral. Are you guys actually serious? Astral? You think Astral's going to be number 7? Pff, come on, Twitch chat. Come on. It's Dead Dash Monster. Number 7. That's a long name, actually, man. It's really taking up a lot of the screen here. All right, let me get the next one. Let me get the next one set up. Twitch chat only knows 5 names. Astral number 7. What are you guys on about? All right, number 6. See how many of you can get this one. Business RL, thanks to the 29-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Also, the real Kaiba with 25 months. Oh, there we go. There he is. So yeah, I didn't even need to hide the nameplate on his opponent here. It's pretty easy. Yeah, you all know. You already know. It's Astral. Yeah, Astral's number 6. Yep. You see Jack's name? Listen, mate, it really did not matter on this one. Everybody was obviously going to get this one right. So yeah, Astral, my number 6. So I'll slap him in there. All right, let's go ahead and prepare the next one. Get number 5 ready for you. I want to remind you, hold in your rage, hold in your accusations of my predictions being terrible, my ranking being terrible, until you see them all. I'll explain them after we're done the guessing part of this stream. Anyway, here is number 5. It's really starting to get rounded down here. So many guesses for Ahmad and Fairy right here. Let's leave it on for a while, see what ends up happening. Yeah. Okay, initially you were all saying Ahmad, but now you can see, yep, it is Fairy. I reckon... Did you all guess Ahmad based on car design, and then after seeing some of the movement, you were like, Fairy. Like type 1, if after seeing the way he moved, you thought that's Fairy, because it just didn't look like Ahmad, or because you thought it did look like Fairy. I reckon that's probably what happened here, because a lot of people said Ahmad initially, probably because of the car design in the very first few seconds, and then it became obvious. So anyway, that's number 5. Let's go ahead and open up number 4. I think you're all going to one-shot everything else from here on. But we'll see. Number 4. Do we have any guessers for this one? Looks like it's still pretty torn. It's maybe three guesses, 3 names coming up a lot. I saw a lot of Appjack, saw a lot of Ahmad. I am seeing a lot of Fahad though, and Fahad is correct. This is Fahad at number 4, so well done to I think most of you guys for guessing Fahad correctly. Let me go ahead and hide this, and we'll open up the number 3 replay. Just going to rattle through the last few here. Okay, this is number 3. Oh, I've hid the wrong thing. There we go, number 3. Guess away, Twitch chat. So lots of Joria's and Khaled's. Let's see who Twitch chat decides to go for. Alright, yeah, you're all getting it now. It is Khaled. It's the exact same replay, but it's the same replay. Yeah, it's Khaled. It is indeed Khaled. I tried that trick on you again. You're not buying it. You guys are not falling for the same trick. You're very quick off the mark. All right, Khaled, number 3. That means we only have 2 left. Probably just immediately tell me who it is, because I reckon at this point it should be pretty obvious. But anyway, I'll let you guess. Number 2 is the player that you're looking at right now, and everybody's gonna know who it is. Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, it's Jack. Obviously it's Jack. All right, so let me go ahead and let's see if you guys can guess who number 1 is. This is number 1. Let's see if anyone can guess it. I reckon you're all gonna guess it. I'm not even gonna hide the. Oh, you just saw the name. Oh no, I've really beamed it. My bad there. Nah, come on. Obviously, everybody already knew it was going to be Jarius. There's not really any mystery left. I'll tell you what, though. This is the famous game. This is the famous game between Jack and Jarius. So I could just leave it on in the background here. But yeah, I'll go through my list while we leave some replays. I'll put some gameplay replays on in the background from these guys. Yeah, starting off with Zamwe. Well, actually, Zamwe and Trex, I think you can kind of explain them at the same time. So Zamwe is a player who got... he was top 8. He finished top 8 in Salt Mine 2. He finished top 8 in Gold Mine. And then he lost to Trex in Smug. Trex didn't get top 8 in Salt Mine 2. He just missed out on top 8 at Gold Mine because he lost to Zamwe, but then he got his revenge match on Zamwe. Zamwe and Trex have actually played 3 times recently. 2 times in Gold Mine and then once in Smug. And Trex won the trilogy. He's ahead of Zamwe in that trilogy. And that's why I have Trex at number 9. Zamwe is an extremely accomplished player, though, very consistent. He's very consistently like kind of a top 8 level player in 1v1 tournaments, getting top 8 in Salt Mine and Gold Mine. So yeah, that explains Zamwe's addition here. I'll talk about honorable mentions. I think I'll do that now, actually, now that I've revealed the list. So my honorable mentions are number 1, Ahmad. I think Ahmad is a very obvious honorable mention because of the way that he was able to beat Scrub recently. Just the utter domination. And also he did beat Ocelon in Smug as well. Ahmad is 2-0 in Smug. But the 2 players that he beat are not players I have in my top 10 at the moment. So that's why I don't really rate those wins as good enough to put Ahmad into the top 10 yet. I think he could easily get top 10. He just needs more matches. He just needs more games against the guys who are in the top 10. He's also beaten Ixo in Gold Mine group stage, but I don't have Ixo top 10 either because Ixo didn't play Salt Mine 2. He got beaten by, I think, Fairy Peak as well in Gold Mine. So yeah, Ixo, Ocelon and Scrub, all of Ahmad's recent wins none of them are top 10 players right now, so that's why it doesn't put him into top 10. Now, okay, yeah, a lot of people are pointing out the Ahmad win over Revzy, but let me just explain the context for that win. So Ahmad did beat Revzy. I believe it was in one of the Salt Mine 2 qualifiers. Or was it a show match? I can't remember. But anyway, I didn't use Salt Mine 2 qualifiers, really, to rank players because they were qualifiers. A lot of players in those qualifiers didn't really do all that much. So I don't really use qualifiers for these kind of rankings. I also don't use show matches for these kind of rankings as well. I only really looked at Salt Mine 2 main event, Gold Mine main event, and Smug. They're really the only matches that are top tier 1v1 caliber matches. That's the only things I was really paying attention to. So yeah, show matches don't really matter in this context because they're not on the same level. So anyway, that's one honorable mention. The other honorable mention is Monkey Moon because he obliterated Alpha in Smug, and he also looked pretty good against Khaled even though he lost. So Monkey Moon and Ahmad are two players who have both done really well in Smug recently, but their lack of top 8 finishes in both Gold Mine and Salt Mine 2. In fact, they both forfeited during Salt Mine 2 qualifiers, and then Monkey Moon didn't play in Goldmine. Ahmad lost in the group stage. That's why I don't have Ahmad or Monkey Moon in my top 10 currently, but I think they could both be top 10 if they were just a bit more active in 1v1 tournaments. That's really all they would need to do. So yeah, they're my two honorable mentions, Ahmad and Monkey Moon. I think if they were more active, they would be in top 10. That's the only thing stopping them. But anyway, back to the list. So I've explained Samway and Trex. I think Revzy is a pretty easy one to understand. So Revzy, he finished top 6 in Salt Mine 2. He didn't actually make top 8 in Goldmine, but he did beat Jack in the group stage. He just ended up being in the group of death. He had Jack and Fahad in his Goldmine group stage. He beat Jack, lost to Fahad, then he lost to Jack in the rematch. So actually a pretty impressive performance by Revzy in the group stage for that one. He just didn't have what it takes to get out of the group of death, which you can't really hold it against him. You can't really, punish him for this. So yeah, Revzy didn't make it out of groups, but I still think it was a good performance from him. And he's now 2-0 in Smug. So Revzy beat Rob recently in Smug. Before that, he beat Luis in Smug. He's a very, very consistent player. He's 2-0 in Smug, and he got, I would say, he got group of death, and I managed to actually beat Jack once in Goldmine. Got top 8, got top 6 actually in Salt Mine 2, because he beat Zamway in Salt Mine 2. So Revzy's been super consistent, and yeah, right now, solid 8th place. But just narrowly gets beaten by Dead Monster, because Dead Monster, he did get top 8 in Goldmine 2, albeit through a bit of an easier group. He only had to beat Ocelon and Tho, didn't have to beat Fahad or Jack. So much easier group for Dead Monster, but he did still get out of the group. Dead Monster also was able to get top 6 in Salt Mine 2, so Dead Monster and Revzy did pretty much the exact same there. But now Dead Monster, he is 2-0 in Smug, with a bit more tough opponents than Revzy had. Because he beat Trex, Dead Monster beat Trex, which is a huge win. That's very impressive recently. And he qualified directly to Salt Mine 2 while beating Astral and apparently Jack on the way. Now I said I wasn't really going to look at those qualifiers heavily, but as a kind of tiebreaker between Revzy and Dead Monster, because I have Revzy and Dead Monster, like Trex and Samway are very close, then Revzy and Dead Monster are very close, and kind of the difference for me is that Dead Monster's wins in Smug are just a tiny bit more impressive. Mainly the win over Trex is huge, and also he did qualify straight into Salt Mine 2. Looked very good there. So yeah, Dead Monster just edges out Revzy, but they're very close. Then going up to number 6, there's a pretty big jump, and I actually think that 6, 5, and 4 are all very close. I have Astral, Fairy Peak, and Fahad all extremely close because they actually all beat each other in a perfect triangle during Goldmine. Astral beat Fairy Peak in the group stage, and then he beat both of them. Astral beat Fairy Peak, and then Fahad beat both Astral and Fairy Peak, but Fairy Peak actually looked really good against Fahad. He took him to game 7. Astral got swept, so in the matchup against Fahad, Fairy Peak did a lot better. Even though he lost to Astral in the group stage, the fact that Fairy Peak was then able to go on, beat apparently Jack, beat Jorias, and take Fahad to game 7 means that I rank Fairy Peak's performance in Goldmine a bit higher than I rank Astral's, even though Astral beat Fairy in that tournament. Fairy got further, Fairy had more impressive results. But what keeps it close is that Astral was top 4 Salt Mine 2, top 4 Goldmine. Astral's really, he's insane. He's super good. So he's right up there with Fairy. But you got to put Fahad ahead of both of them because Fahad beat Astral and he beat Fairy in Goldmine. He beat both of them. So fair enough. You beat both the guys who you're kind of close to in the rankings. You get to be the guy who's ahead of them in the rankings. But Fahad didn't beat Khaled. He got smoked by Khaled 4-0, so you got to put Khaled ahead of Fahad. And yeah, I think Khaled, Jack, and Jorias are kind of top 3, pretty clear. Anyway, Khaled or Jack being like basically top 4 every tournament. Khaled finishing top 2 in Salt Mine 2 and then top 8 in Goldmine. Jorias winning Salt Mine 2, top 8 Goldmine. So yeah, Jorias, Jack, Khaled are clear top 3 for me, with Khaled coming 3rd. Because last time he played Jack, he lost. Last time he played Jorias, he lost. So you got to go for Jack and Jorias ahead of Khaled. And then last time that Jorias played Jack, he won. In fact, Jorias beat Jack, he beat Khaled, he beat Fairy, and he beat Astral the last time that he played them. Everyone else in the top 5, Jack beat them last time, or Joreuz beat them last time he played them, I mean. The only player who he hasn't beaten is Fahad, because he's never played him, as far as I'm aware. So, yeah, I would love to see that, actually, Fahad versus Joreuz. But yeah, Joreuz has beaten everybody. He, for me, is clear #1 right now. He's beaten everybody last time they played. Jack has beaten everybody last time that he played them, apart from Fairy Peak. But I think he probably would beat Fairy if they played again. And yeah, Jack's results have been much more impressive against everybody else, other than losing to Fairy. So yeah, that's my top 10. Any questions, Twitch chat? Do we, at this stage, have any questions now that I've had a chance to explain myself? I've done my explanations. So yeah, you can go ahead and tell me what I'm wrong about. What am I missing? I'm going to turn the volume of the game sound down now that we've lost, that the game's over. That was actually well timed. Look at that. We finished right at the end of this game. I'll turn on another one of these replays because they're all pretty epic replays. Khaled Fahad 7-6. This is pretty good. This is a good game. We'll turn this on as well. You have a question? Go ahead and ask the question. J Squared, thanks for 5 gifted subs again. Really appreciate that. That's insane, man. Thank you to Chocolati for the 10-month tier 1. And Corey for 20-month tier 1. Welcome back. Why is Jack above Khaled? Because last time that Jack played Khaled, he beat him. Khaled beat Jack in Salt Mine 2, but Jack beat Khaled in Gold Mine. So he's kind of got the revenge win there. Apart from that, Jack and Khaled are pretty much dead even. I mean, they both lost to Fairy Peak last time that they played him, but it's in Khaled's case, it was a while ago. They've both beaten Astral last time they played him. And they've both lost to Joreuz last time they played him. So Jack and Khaled are super close. They're pretty much dead even on everything, except for the fact that Jack beat Khaled last time they played. So if somebody beats someone last time that they played in the, the final day of a big tournament, a big ones tournament, then you got to put him ahead. I mean, that's why I've got Khaled ahead of Fahad. That's why I've got Joreuz ahead of Jack. That's why I've got Jack ahead of Khaled. That's why I got Fahad ahead of Fairy. But the only time that I've not gone with that order is Fairy Peak and Astral, because Fairy Peak has more impressive results against the rest of the field compared to Astral, and his loss to Astral was in day 1 of the tournament, and he went on to actually do better in that same tournament than Astral. So that's the only exception to this rule that I have. The only exception to the last time that they played rule is Fairy Peak Astral. I'm pretty sure every other matchup or every other ranking I have in the order of last time they played. And hey, people saying recency bias, do you guys realize that this is kind of how 1v1 works? 1v1 works dead like this. These players don't play each other enough for us to ignore the head-to-head result of a match. Like, this isn't 3v3 where, teams are playing against other teams every single week. Like, you're going to get 10 NRG versus Space Station matches. No, the last time that Fairy Peak played Khaled, Fusion Finals. That's the last time they played. Last time that Joreuz played Khaled, Salt Mine 2 Finals. You gotta just use that one match. You can't use the match before, because it's just not, it's too long ago. So yeah, that's kind of how it has to work in 1v1. If 1v1 had the same sort of regularity as 3v3 does, yeah, you wouldn't have to rank like that. But that's how it works for me right now. Ahmad close to top 10 in your opinion? Yeah, Ahmad is one of my 2 honorable mentions. My 2 honorable mentions are Ahmad and Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon because he smoked Alpha and Smug, and then he also looked pretty good against Khaled even though he lost. And Ahmad because he managed to beat Scrub and Ocelon in Smug. The only reason that Ahmad and Monkey Moon have been beaten into the top 10 by players like Samway and Trex is because Samway has consistently made very high finishes in pretty much all the tournaments. He's top 8 Salt Mine 2, top 8 Gold Mine, and yeah, that kind of consistency is more impressive than winning a single Smug show match for me. And same thing, Trex has literally played a trilogy against Samway, so they're kind of in a unique position. They're the only players, I believe, who have played a recent trilogy of matches. Like, I'm talking, they played twice in Goldmine and once in Smug, so they played three 1v1 matches so recently that you can actually just use that as a ranking for Trex ahead of Samway. But putting someone like Monkey Moon ahead of Samway, a bit harder, because he beat players outside the top 10. He beat Alpha, who's not top 10, and then he lost to Khaled, who is top 10. But yeah, you can't just slap Monkeyman in your top 10 because of one series win against Alpha and one series loss against Khaled, compared to Zamway finishing top 8 in 2 tournaments, Salt Mine 2 and Goldmine. Like that's just not fair, in my opinion. You got to put Zamway in there. Yeah, I do have Zamway Trex very close. Their trilogy means I have to put Trex ahead of Zamway, but overall Zamway's more accomplished. If we're just looking at tournament runs, Zamway wins that. But yeah, he lost the trilogy, so you gotta put Trex ahead of him. Head to head is a big thing in rankings. And no, I don't take ranked games, I don't take ranked ladder, I don't take show matches, I don't take Salt Mine 2 qualifiers into consideration really. Unless it's for a tiebreak, maybe. Like if 2 players are dead even, looking at big 1v1 tournaments, if you can't separate 2 players based on smug matches, Salt Mine 2 finals and Goldmine finals, which are the 3 biggest 1v1 things that have happened recently, then you go to the next thing in line, which is probably Salt Mine 2 qualifiers. And if you can't separate them based on that, maybe you go to show matches after that, but we never had to go as far as show matches. I was always able to separate people based on main 1v1 events, and then in the case of Dead Monster Revsy, they were the only one that I couldn't really separate using 1v1 main events, so that's when I went to Salt Mine 2 qualifiers for just those 2. That was the only 2 names that needed separation like that.